Hello and welcome to this edition of Learning the Nyunga Nyunga Mbira. My name is Taku Mafika and I'm from Zimbabwe. Today I'm going to continue with my lessons and I will teach you the Nhemamusasse mode. We will continue from the very first video tutorial that we did, and today I will teach you the second variation, which I will call the substitution, and another variation, a third variation, which will include playing with your right forefinger. The substitution is a continuation from the alternating variation that we did last time. Now, substitution simply means removing and replacing with another number. In this case, wherever we were playing number 1, now we are going to replace it with key number 7. I will illustrate from the variation, the first variation that we want to substitute from. Now, you will notice that when we are playing number 1, now we are going to substitute it and introduce number 7. So this means that on the first step, we are going to play 3 and 11, 3 and 15, and we don't play 1 and 15, we play 7 and 15. So when we play it together, it will sound like this. And we go to the second round. We're going to go back again on 3 and 11. 3 and 11. From 3 and 11 we go to 5 and 9. And then finally we go to 7 and 15. So if we play it together, it will sound like this. And then we move on to the third round. Third round, we are now starting on 3 and 13. Going to 5 and 9. And we substitute again 1 with 7. Play it together, it will sound like this. And finally, the fourth round. The fourth round, we were not playing key number 1, so it still remains the same as the last time. From 3 and 11, 3 and 15, 3 and 13. So if we play it all together, it sounds like this. Now, we will play the whole sequence from the first round, second round, third round, and the fourth round. This time the only difference is we are going to play number 7 instead of key number 1. This is what we call the substitution. So it will sound like this. So this is another variation which is called the substitution, or alternatively we can call it variation number 3. So the most important things that you must remember on this variation are, instead of playing key number 1, you have substituted it with and replaced it with key number 7. Now we will go on to the next step and I will introduce the third variation. In this third variation, I will introduce to you the forefinger, the right forefinger. And remember, if you were watching our previous videos, we illustrated that the right forefinger plays certain keys which are key number 8, number 10, number 12, and number 14. Again, it's key number 8, number 10, number 12, and number 14. So, next, the other thing that you must remember is that these keys I've mentioned are exactly sounding the same. For example, key number 8 and key number 9 sound the same. Key number 10 and key number 11 sound the same. Key number 12 and key number 14, key number 12 and key number 13 sound the same. Key number 14 and key number 15 sound exactly the same. So this is the most important thing to take note of when we are going to start using the forefinger. Now, the third tip that I would want to give you is that when you are playing with the forefinger, remember when you have to hold your mbira, do not put your fingers, all of them, behind the mbira. Just slightly hold the mbira with the tip of your 3 fingers. These 3 fingers will give you the ability to play with your forefinger. And your forefinger must play from the top of the keys. Most people tend to make the mistake of playing it from sideways. Now your forefinger must play exactly from the top of the keys. Now, taking this into practice, hope you've taken the notes. Now we will introduce again on Nhemamusasse. Now we are playing with the forefinger. Round number 1, we are going to start on key number 3 and 11, right? So this time we will introduce the forefinger and it will play like this. So you're starting with key number 11, 3, and then key number 10 and back to 3. So that's the first round, and then we move on to the second part. It's now 3 and 15 with the same pattern again. 15, 3, 14 and 3. So it sounds like this. So from the start and the final round, key 1 and 15 with the forefinger. Now we are playing key number 14. So from the first step, it will sound like this. This is the first round. Now we go on to the second round. Again, we start on 3 and 11. And remember, we maintain the same playing pattern. Again on 3 and 11. This time, the second part, we go to 5 and 9. When we hit 9, remember, 9 sounds the same as 8. I'll do it again. And finally, to 1 and 15. So when you play it together, it will sound like this. And let's go to the third round. And the third round, we start on 3 and 13. From 3 and 13, we go back to 5 and 9. And from 5 and 9, we finally go on 1 and 15. So when you play it together, round number 3, it will sound like this. And let's go to the final and fourth round of Nhemamusasse. We start again on 3 and 11. And then 3 and 15. And finally 3 and 13. So when we play the fourth round all together, it will sound like this. So now let us try to play all of these sequences, all of the rounds from round number 1 to round number 4. It will sound like this. Now, you make sure that you can continuously practice this, and the more you practice it, the more you become more experienced in it. Remember to maintain the playing pattern and the way you hold the mbira so that the forefinger can always get space to move freely. You have now to try to play, so your assignment is to play from the basic pattern, variation number 1, variation number 2, up to the third variation that we did. So when you play it from the basic pattern to this stage, it will sound like this. So this is the Nhemamusasse mode, and I hope you can now play it from the basic pattern to the third and final variation. This song is very famous for many variations, like I said before, and as soon as you are able to play these few variations that I have given you, you can also then go on and expand and get to create more of your own stuff and introduce your own techniques. But always remember to maintain the playing pattern. Now, this is all for now, and I want to thank you very much. In my next video, we'll be learning probably how to sing the song. I'll teach you a few words so that you can, at the end of the day, be able to play and sing the song Nhemamusasse. Goodbye for now, but as I always say, do not forget that we can get you a good quality mbira, Nyunga Nyunga original from Zimbabwe. Goodbye and see you then.